Hello, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxshire, on the show is the two legends. Yes, the two legends of Rangers Radio. The one and only Southside and Bridgeman. How we doing, boys?
Aye, good evening, Ox. Good evening, good to be on my Bridgeman. The real legend, mate. That's the only legend. And good evening to everyone. Good evening to everyone listening in this evening.
Okay, I just say thank you for the complimentary we introduced me there. Thank you, Southside. Pleasure to be with you. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world and other, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
How are you, Southside?
Aye, good, mate. Good. Good weekend, buddy. Looking forward to the night. So,
good,
well.
Good. How are you, Bridgeman?
I'm cool. Thank you very much.
I'm hearing whispers that you're in training for next year's Tour de France. Any truth in it?
Tour de France,
Tour of Torrens.
Exactly. I managed to get back on my exercise bike first time in 3 weeks. I done 15 minutes and I was absolutely wiped out. But we'll persist.
You'll get there. And I should apologise, Stevie, for Southside for Big Stevie here. Obviously no Wednesday night because it's the final of Love Island, yeah?
Oh, aye, so it is. Well, I didn't know it is, but obviously you're telling me, so aye. Obviously, I was expecting it to be on the night, actually, but obviously that's...
Apologies, obviously. You've got to prioritise in life, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I hope he enjoys it, eh?
Popcorn at 9 o'clock.
Yes. All right, okay. So, a good 2-1 victory the weekend there. Bridge, take the victory, move on. Put it down to good day to office, ultimately.
I'm a wee bit different from everybody else. I thought we started quite poorly in the first half, and I thought that big tall fella we had up there, he gave all three of our main defenders a hard time for the first 25 minutes, I would say, 25 minutes, and they all got booked against him. He must have been 7 feet tall or something like that, But no, we another 70-yard thump for the goalkeeper, and we never went for the first ball, and we ended up losing a goal. By the way, the big fella took it brilliantly well, shoved it, brushed aside, shooter, popped in the net, no problem at all. I don't have any complaints about it. I reckon we had about 90% pressure by the time, for us. So we were the other possession, and we just couldn't put the ball in the net. Where have we heard that before? So by the second half, it was a different ball game entirely. We up to tempo, and away we went. I thought it was excellent. Very happy with the second half. Very happy. But did we win? Absolutely.
So I actually think we started the match the first 5 minutes or so, or maybe up to when they scored, was maybe the best we played in the whole first half. We were pinging it, we were moving. I'm thinking there was a few crosses running in the box. I'm saying we got a goal here. This could be anything.
We started well, Ox. It was quite quick the way we started, but it sort of petered out once they scored. Poor goal, it was really poor. After that, I thought we controlled the game without actually having a shot at goal, really. I know we'd won over the bar and that, but we controlled the play. It was sort of neat and tidy without an end product in the first half. Like Bridge says, second half it changed. Tillman came on obviously at half time and we sort of up to ante on them, and obviously we getting the goal, it was disallowed, and then obviously should have been scored for the one that hit the bar and the post, and Tillman missed it. Goalie saved it on the line. But after that we got the job done. Park looked pretty sticky, they didn't wet it or anything like that. They weren't shooting it before the game.
No.
And you could see a few players looked a bit uncomfortable on it,
Aye, the touch wasn't great. Listen, on the goal, I've watched it a few times, Southside, and Bonner, I don't know if that was planned, that they would back off and let that happen. Doesn't it look like it? How does he not come and head that ball? I mean, it's a defender's ball day long. At least making it so the guy can't just head it as easy as he did. And then when the guy does head it, John Souttar's caught the wrong side all day long. Now I looked at it again, I said to myself, is it because he's on the left and he's playing, he's naturally on the right? There's no excuse for being caught the wrong side. It's basics. Bridgeman, in you come.
What can I say about that? The centre halves, your words were absolutely right. He caught the wrong side, and the big fella slapped him out of the way to all intents and purposes. And he's a big, tall fella, and a strong big fella as well. So Souttar probably match him for strength, but in this time, you get caught on the wrong side, and that's all there is to it. The guy just pushed him down, and away he went.
I don't think. Well, we finished. The finish was the finish, but how we go there? Southside, I don't think it was strength. I just think he got caught on the wrong side. So we'll put that down to John will learn for that and move on. Yeah, I still think there's a player there, but I'm not throwing him in the rules yet. I'm just talking about the goal. I think he got caught on the wrong side.
Aye, he did get caught. He was the goal side of the man, was he? And first, it should have been stopped to header. Ox. I mean, we all know that header. Borna probably should have took the extra 5-10 yard steps, and they'd have been right on top of the boy. Lundstrom was in that vicinity, but he had another player there. And even at that, if he'd maybe moved a few yards either side, he probably wouldn't have got to it, but it might have been enough to put the boy off. But the two of them stood like statues, and the boy got the header on. And obviously, Souttar was on the wrong side. Boy finished it well. He had a couple of shaky moments at times, but it's early in the season, so I'm not going to... We know he's playing in an unnatural position because he's on the left-hand side of the defence. But if he is going to be playing there, he has to be better than what he was on Saturday. The big boy caused a lot of problems for them up front. The boy that scored, Nubly or something, I think his name was. And he caused Goldstein problems as well. He won quite a lot of balls in there in the first half. So the two of them weren't great, but at the same time, you've got to look at Borna and Goldstein, Borna and Souttar for the goal, mate, you know.
I thought there was three of them to be fought. I thought Barris has backed off before the ball even got near him. And I can't, was it Pittman or somebody? I can't remember who it was, forward Devlin or something like that. He headed the ball forward. A simple header, 20-yard header. So like a 70-yard bang for the goalkeeper and a 20-yard header. And it caused us all sorts of problems. And Borna backed off immediately before the header and got himself lost. So there were two centre halves and a left back standing there, and that guy's in between the three of them and scored the goal. And that was outside the box as well when he got it. I'll get through to him. Unbelievable stuff, guys. Unbelievable. Stupid for us. Stupid.
Aye, we lost the goal. And if I'm being honest, Southside, I thought we didn't react well. We got a bit dragged down in the game. The first half really just petered out, side to side. We know a lot of goal-mouth action.
No, they had a chance, Ox, after they scored with that body put in the box, free header. I mean, I was up the other end, but when the ball came in and you seen them going for it, I'm thinking, who's going for that ball? What Rangers playing? Nobody. A free header. That was poor defending, Ox, no. But after that, we had side passes getting to about the edge of the 18-yard box, and then the ball coming in just wasn't good enough. We weren't creating anything to get a shot at goal. But we controlled the game and we controlled the possession. But there was no cutting edge, and obviously there was a few hefty tackles that our players were taking at that time as well, Ox, you know.
I've got a question to ask you guys if it was okay. As far as I'm concerned, the referee Don Robertson never covered himself in any glory at all. Again, he's very hesitant to give any decisions against the Rangers. Excuse me, for the Rangers, I should say. And that young lad, Krakow, or what his name is, for Livingston, he pulled three players down, and he ended up getting a booking, and he should have got a second yellow card for another bad tackle. And eventually, his manager saw what was happening and was wise, took the guy off.
I'm telling you, the 5 substitutes is a good move for if your team full of, let's just say, competitive players, Bridge, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely, pal. No, that guy was shocking. He was the worst player in the park. And
it was a second yellow. It was a second yellow.
Yeah, absolutely. And the boy at left back, is it Pittman? Is that Pittman? I think it used to be with St Johnson or something like that. Oh, some shocking tackles. Devlin, shocking tackles. All over the park by them. The 10-man defence virtually the whole game.
I don't think Kent's ever had a good game against that Devlin, mate. I think he's a season pro, let's put it that way.
Yeah. But you know, all they need to do is show their intent. Get in there fast. Show the studs if you need to. Not necessarily hurting them, catching them, but show the studs are there. And Kent will back off. Any winger will back off. But I thought that the second half he came into his game, played a lot better, Kent with better possession.
All right. That was some question you asked us. Southside, second yellow.
100%, Ox. I mean, I'm laughing because it was embarrassing. You know, everybody in the stadium. I mean, he took a Sorian before it, and then he goes by him again, and he's starting to go away from him, and he just chops him. And then, to your disbelief, he starts calling out the captain, and obviously some players are asking the question. Well, once we realise he's not going to get booked to get sent off. I don't know what he was thinking about, Ox. I mean, if that's a friendly game, you could see him maybe pulling him aside and saying, "Here, take him off," and that. But for it to be a league game, second offence within a few minutes, cynical, and no receive another booking, which would give you a red card, is astonishing, mate. And I don't know why we didn't ask the question to the officials after the game. You know,
it was a yellow card all day long, and that would have been 2 yellows. But in the same token, Southside, if I'm being really honest with you, I watched the game, and I would have still substituted Kamara and Suter for the same reason, because they weren't playing good. I know that Golson had been booked, but he's got a wee bit more experience. I would have took the 2 of the boys off at half time.
Kamara, I didn't think really left his cell open after that. I thought he was just neat and tidy, but I get what you're saying. Suter, obviously, once he took his booking, and the way he'd been turned a few times and looked a wee bit shaky at times, you might have thought he would, like you say, if you thought you should have took him off, fair enough. Probably Gio's trust him a bit. He should have the experience where he's played in the Premier League and that, and should be able to manage that. But they 3 certainly got booked, and if I'm honest, Bridge, I couldn't complain with the referee booking the 3 of them. I thought the 3 of them, their bookings were yellow cards, you know. But Kamara's experience now, Oxenty, you'd think that we could have managed it, you know, even if he's on a yellow card. In my opinion, I think he's experienced enough to do that job, and probably the manager trusted him. But I get what you're saying. You could have used the 5 subs, you know, I get that.
Exactly. You've got to remember, you've got 5 subs. Anyway, so the second half started. We took right off. Do we think it's because he had a knock, or do you think it's for him? Southside, then Bridge.
I would have put it down to at the time. I thought it was a knock. I think by listening to the comments today, I think they've got a couple of players with knocks, so I think he might be one of the knocks. I thought when he took him off and put Tillman on and moved Lawrence out, I thought that looks quite tasty. Looks like we've got an extra football player on the park. And he certainly looked good. He showboated a couple of times near the end, I thought, when he could have either had a shot or made an easier pass. But he certainly looks like he's got something about him. He looks good vision and passing, and he was strong on the ball. I think he's...
First impressions, and I don't think he's up to match fitness. I still think there's more to come. So first impression, ticking the box. Second half, Bridge, we started at a faster tempo,
Yes, indeed, we put a bit of pace into the end of our game, and they looked good. I thought Rangers were by far and away. Anybody thinks anything different, they're mental. They were far and away the best team in the park. And every single player at that level, better players all round. It's just, we somehow or other, we just did a stupid thing. We lose what we're doing with the passing. But when we got it on a run, we were excellent. Second half, we were brilliant. 2 absolutely outstanding goals, 2 goals, great goals.
3 outstanding goals.
Well, it was in the game, 3 outstanding. Oh, yeah, the boy's header. I don't know about that because I never saw any video evidence that would have said it wasn't. I wasn't sure if it was offside.
It's not what you know to watch a blue movie on a Saturday night, Bridge.
No, I never saw it. I just never saw it. And you know, strangely enough, there's got to be somebody in the crowd must have a wee sort of jiff of that. No jiff, what do they call it again? A wee film of that somewhere.
I think it's been shown that the boy, it looks as if the guy's shoulder was playing him on south side, didn't it?
Yeah, for a couple of the angles I saw later on, it looked like he was possibly playing him on side, at least level. I was up the other end at the time, so I wasn't sure. But it was a good finish, was it no? With the old head.
Yes, and I think all day, that boy, even in the first half, mate, I think he only touched the ball 4 times in the first half. But he was making runs left and right, doing channels, pointing. I think it's a case that people have to get to know each other. Yeah?
Aye, it was a bit like the Blackpool game we seen down there. He done loads and loads of running into channels and chased boys doing that, and he done the same in the first half. He did make some runs, but obviously we've not picked up on it yet. He played a couple of long balls, but he made a nice run through the middle and he had to check and come back. But that will come. The thing is, he's got plenty of energy. He's looking busy. That ball came in. It was a hard goal and he took it well with his head. I think he shows promise, and I think once he starts getting chances, I think he'll start scoring the goals. I really do, Ox.
I have to agree with you. I think, look, Livingston, obviously we saw their ploy. They only played one man up front, and that was our big fella. Unless there was free kicks or throw-ins anywhere close, they would bring in a few people up. But seriously, all Rangers out against them was a full 9-man defence. That's what we had. They just, and at times it was a 10-man. But these things that we're saying now, we said last season, the season before, and the season before, when it comes to teams like Livingston. Was the pitch in the best condition? No, definitely not. They had no intention of having a good condition pitch because it was the Rangers. Now, I don't know if they would do it for all the other teams, whether they would make sure that the pitch was in good condition, but that was not a good condition pitch because we like to play football and we couldn't play. We never got all our proper football in, put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Aye, so the game started. I agree with you, Southside. Tillman made a bit of difference. He looks as if he's got maybe a bit of the X factor. Lawrence, who I thought didn't do a lot, but he sort of played inside right, and Tav pushed right up. Yeah, Tav, out of the piece. I know he got the winner, but I still thought Tav was our best player on the day, personally.
Aye, I agree with you.
Tillman
Lundstrom
started showing Lundstrom pass marks on the left-hand side. Kent was involved in the 3 goals we scored, but I don't think he'd be his greatest in games. But he'll say 3 assists. Aye, we'll give him that. But the rest, I thought were run about average. Apart from I gave Kolak pass marks Southside because the finish and also the unselfish running and playing up front. If you don't get a service, mate, you can't do a lot.
No, that's what we're hoping to give him a service. I mean, he's got a record of 1 and 2 games, so we create a lot of chances, although we didn't create that many on Saturday on that part, but we will in time, and he should get himself a few. I thought Tillman looks as if he can pick a pass out Ox as well, quite good in close control. I thought, like you said, Lawrence was busy without being anything great, and also Kent kept cutting inside and that, lost the ball a couple of times. We made wee angles with him and Borna and then switched it inside to Kamara for him to deliver the ball, and then they sort of worked it again where they put it back out wide. I mean, Livingston played quite condensed in the middle of the park. There wasn't a lot to get through the middle, so the wings was where we were going to get a bit of our glory, I thought, at times, you know. But aye, probably the 3 players you mentioned, Tillman coming on, and then obviously Scotty Arfield getting a goal, gets pass marks. It was some header, similar to Kolac's, eh?
Yeah, I was. Sorry, Oxy, apology.
Sorry, no. James Tavernier, 1 and 2. You're talking about 1 and 2 Southside. Since the start of 2016-17 season, James Tavernier has been a director involved in 103 goals and 204 appearances in the Scottish Premiership, 48 goals, 55 assists. There you go. Frightening.
Unbelievable. Frightening statistics for a right back, full back, attacking full back.
Aye, frightening. So we get the goal. Good cross. A tremendous header for Arfield. Let's be honest. Tremendous header. He's a glancer, he's a nudger, that's his style, Scotty. Personally, and I said it on the show, I don't know if I gave him a new contract, but he paid a big chunk of it back in Saturday Bridge.
Oh, 100%, yeah. He's a type of chap that can do these things. And he becomes, well, obviously as the tempo was getting higher and higher, and the possession rate was getting greater and greater, because we started really tensing it up at the back as well, you know. When the ball came out, get it and get it back in there, type of thing. And I think the boys did wonderfully well up against that. I mean, seriously, there's just no way the teams can consistently play against these teams. It's just going to be bad. And I take my hat off to the Bears, the supporters, Big Southside and Stevie and all the guys that go there. That was a fantastic support. And see when we scored that goal, the place just lit up. And when Taz went in, the place, seriously, what an amazing feeling. I was jumping up here. I was up and down. That's for sure.
I talked about the support Southside. Obviously, you were in the end, but there was the pyrotechnics before the game started, yes?
Yes, I was, yeah. Nothing to do with me, I add.
Oh, of course not. Any communication?
Oh, the phone call?
Yes.
Oh, the big game phoning me. Aye, he didn't get in. He was waiting to get in at our end. He phoned me.
Is that because it's happier in Greggs and Livingston between 2:30 and 3:30?
I didn't actually go near Greggs, I'll give you that one, but he was looking for somewhere to eat, and I says, wait till we get in the stadium, and then the phone went, and he was in a bit of a panic, because he's like, don't tell me the pies are on fire or anything like that, are they? I said, no, the pie stall's fine, it's a pyro, mate, it's all right. So he was frantic outside, because he was scared in case...
I'm glad you calmed him down. I'm glad you calmed him down. You know the listening, because he'll be watching Love Island. Right, we get the winner, and let's just say the game, Pete. Is that fair, Southside?
Aye, it was just about seeing the game out after that, wasn't it? Once we got the winner. Fit to have some free kick, you know. Been looking for him to do that for a while. We know he's got it in his locker. But it's good to see him do it in the first game of the season in the league.
And well done to Livingston for having a bit of common sense. And if they did play certain teams 4 times a season at their place, that must be worth £1 million to them. Yeah, £1 million. Not to be sniffed at. Southside, you get an atmosphere that looks an event. There's no empty seats. Yeah.
Aye. It's always been full at Livingston, and they've always been generous with getting out the tickets. Like you say, they've got an accountant there that's obviously thinking about the numbers and the money coming in. So it's a full house for them, eh?
Aye, yeah. Right, Bridgeman, all right with you, we get these phone lines opened.
Go for it, pal. Let's do that.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
All right. Well, right there. Is that fair then? Who did you give man of the match to, Bridge?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I gave it to Tab, to be honest. I thought Tab did a very good game for us. And that goal, just absolutely outstanding. Outstanding. He was having shots and having a goal today, so I had to give it to him. I thought the man I would normally say up at Livingston, who would probably be my man of the match, Golson, I don't think he didn't have his greatest game for us.
Oh, didn't have a good game. Didn't have a great game. He didn't have a poor game, but he didn't have a great game. Southside, the new players, obviously, Suter, Tellerman's come on, Lawrence, Cholak. That's anybody else? That's it. No. So, 4 new players. Thoughts?
I thought, well, we've seen Suter. I just think he's not comfortable. Take a wee bit of time to settle in. I thought Lawrence was busy, but he had nice wee touches, and he made a couple of wee runs as well, which we didn't pick up on. He made a run into the box, which if somebody had seen it, they could have played him in. I can see what he's trying to do, and I think it'll just take time for them to gel. Ox, Kolak's busy as usual, ran his guts out, put a right shift in for us, and on another day, with another linesman, they might have got the goal. Who am I missing? Tillman come on, and I thought he looked good in the 45 minutes that he was on the Parcox, and I think a bit more fitness in him and a bit more obviously getting game time. I think he'll be an asset this season. I think he looks a right intelligent player, and I thought Sands done well when he come on as well.
I agree.
You know?
He stepped in front of the big fella and came and headed it.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about intelligent people, we couldn't find any, but we've been joined by old Davy. Evening, Davy.
How you doing, boys? How you doing? Good to hear you. Good to hear you.
Davy.
Yes, Southside, Bridge, yeah, good to hear you all. Good comments as well. What I'd like to say about this Saturday's game is who marked out that pitch?
Oh, the Lions, Davy. I think they nearly joined up with each other, didn't they?
Is that they need to have Specsavers. That park was a total disgrace, by the way. And I thought that result was outstanding. The first game, playing a lot of strange formations, going down a dark goal. It's a marvellous result. Marvellous result.
I agree with you. I don't think we'll mention the lines. Other people might get mixed up with what we're talking about, Southside, you know what I mean?
Well, it does happen.
The marks on the pitch were rather broad.
Aye. It's David, we've been there that often at Livingston. No, you know what you're going to face there. And obviously the lines and that, the way they mapped it out was different from before. But
the penalty spot was 2 feet wide.
They didn't wet the surface, like they didn't have any. They didn't wet the surface before it, so the ball looked quite sticky and that. You know, we zipped it a bit better in the second half. It's one of the games, Dave. It was the first game of the season. It's Livingston. We lose a silly goal, and then the most important thing after that is just to get the 3 points. You know, and when you look at it, we've scored 2 decent goals. So we've got to be happy. We've got the 3 points. We'll not be back there for a while. You know.
Definitely.
Davey, what was your thoughts on the new players yourself?
Well, I feel a bit for Mike Shooter. I don't think he deserves the criticism, especially after losing his brother. And I don't think it was a good thing to play him in the first place. But obviously, he's spoken to Gio about. He said, "You up for it?" He's went, "Aye." Obviously, he wants to go in the park, prove everything he got. But I just felt. Just where he was playing and where he was, him and Barisic, they've not played together a lot, and you could tell with that goal. I mean, big Barra, he was falling asleep. But I thought Tillman was brilliant. That guy's class, by the way, and I think I'm quite good, especially when I'm buying my Maltesers. You've got to get class, and that boy's got it. He's definitely got it. He's going to be a good one. The rest of the lot just not in the cover, I think.
Aye, it looks as if he's got something about him. Only time will tell, but...
He's a young boy. He's only 20.
Aye, he's a big boy, Davey. Big and powerful, yeah.
But he's cool. He knows what he's doing when he gets the ball. That's what we were lacking a bit in the first 50. We went doing a goal. We lost that wee bit of composure. But I felt when we done the changes, we got that back, and the wee man in the middle gave us a bit more bite again. I thought we were pretty poor in the middle, actually, the first half, because we weren't really getting able to get through them. But that's Livingston. I mean, it's just the whistle goes, we go forward, they go backwards, and you're going to get every time you go there. So it's a great result.
Aye, it's not the best of watches, is it?
Well, it's not when you can't see it. But the pyros. I thought we were getting a penalty when I seen the referee bit with the boy. He was getting offside.
Somebody was saying Southside was that started those pyros. I don't think it's true, but
listen, you try to get my just points off me or something. I had no part in that. Right.
Bridgeman, trust me, he wouldn't give away smoke.
I probably do believe you. Not that I want to disbelieve him, but what can I say? That's fine, big man.
He would give away smoke, but he'd be charged for it.
All I can say is I was thoroughly searched on the way in, right? So that would prove thoroughly searched. Aye.
That was a highlight of the first half for him.
I'll tell you what. I have to admit, I've been thoroughly searched a few times, and that's for sure.
It was a big Jacob Bridge. Too many pockets.
Brilliant.
That's when the pig make gloves. That's a horrible sound, isn't it?
Especially for the white ones.
You're not looking there. I'm looking there.
Oh, folks, can I just say something?
Yes, mate.
See, regarding we were talking last year about bringing in VAR, that was a great goal that boy scored. I don't care about anybody. That was never offside. If you're going by the rules that they are now, VAR would have just wiped that out and it would have been given a goal. So the sooner we get something where it's, to me, I know it's debatable, but I think it'll cure a lot of issues.
I agree, Davey. I agree. Some people are for it, some people are against it, and they're entitled to their opinion. I think if you get it right, VAR, it can be an asset to the game, especially if you can get the calls quick. But what I will say is, I don't think you should bring it in halfway through a season. Then games are getting refereed differently, and results could be differently. Surely you want consistency all through a season.
Yeah. So when are they thinking of doing it?
I think they're talking about potentially after the break for the World Cup. Yeah?
I'm not sure.
I believe, I'm no one for spreading rumours, but I believe they've got all the referees and all the officials that are involved in it, and they've got to go in some kind of training course. I believe it's in Lourdes, but I'm no one for spreading rumours.
VAR will be good.
That's a shocker, man. It's an absolute shocker, ain't it?
VAR will be good if they interpret it the way it should be. You've seen that done in England, and you've seen how some of them have come up with some bizarre decisions. I'm hoping that it will be better. It certainly helped us out in Europe, but in Scotland, I'd like to think that it will be pretty. They'll need to set the rules and the agenda, and we'll soon find out. But I'd like to think that they'll hopefully get it right more than they'll get it wrong. That's what we're looking for.
Only time will tell, Biggie. Only time will tell. Yeah. One of the downsides I've got with VAR, I know you're a fan, Bridge, but one of the downsides, you never know if you've scored a goal, do you?
It takes a wee while sometimes, I think the truth of the matter is when you've got VAR at operational level, it's only going to be, in my opinion, it's only going to be the ones that are obvious. Is it or was it no, that kind of thing. The ones that are, you feel it in yourself. That was a great goal, and I'm okay. I look around me, I wasn't offside, and so on and so forth. And it might take a wee while just to confirm it. But the guys that score the goals, invariably, if it takes a long time, it could be murder. I know that. I'm desperately keen on VAR getting in. I think it's going to be a great leveler. And then we could see how far it can take it, and where can we use it in our parts of the game, I think it was superb. I hope we've got good cameras right now. What do we know? Was it not supposed to be a VAR test?
They were trying it.
So did they tell the referee they were
trying it? I believe that Calvin Bassey's not a fan of VAR Southside.
Right, no.
Well, that was a belter.
It's about your debut, eh?
You can complain about it, no? That was a belter. Right, I was going to ask you guys, who's the sponsors this year for the referees' tops? Is it the Vatican?
No, David. Oh, David, you should know better than that, mate.
I thought somebody said that earlier, no? No, I don't mean it in that perspective. It's just it looks the colours,
Mm-hmm. But yellow and white?
I'm not commenting now. I've had a yellow card already.
Yes, you've had a yellow card. First appearance of the season. You've just done it. You've had a Calvin Bassey.
Made a Lamborghini.
Aye. Bridgeman, we need to take his Maltesers off him.
Well, you're not getting them.
You'll be lucky to get them off of him, I'll tell you.
I've only half a box left anyway.
He'll put the whole lot in his mouth at once, I'll tell you.
Yeah. No long in my birthday, remember.
Oh, we know what you're
What do you want then? What do you want?
Box of Maltesers.
That's all right then. Okay.
Sorry about that comment, but didn't you? Just if you think about it, think about it.
Yeah, it's all right. We know what you mean. We just have to put the ball in the net, and then we don't need to worry about referees Southside, yeah?
100%, Ox. That's what it's all about. Scoring goals, and like you say, we've got the players, Davey, now. We've added a bit of quality into the squad, and there's a few look like, I think we look forward to Ibrox, next week, a home game. But I'm excited this year, Davey. I think we've got goals in our team now, and I think once we get a settled team and players are off fit, there's a couple of knocks, but once it settles down after maybe a month or something, and hopefully we make this Champions League in that time. But in the league, we're just looking for a bit of consistency in the 3 points every week, David, and then we can start worrying about how good we're playing our football, Just get points on the board now, mate.
Totally agree with you.
Listen, that's how... Well, I think you made the point, Southside. We went there, we won. First game of the season, and we've not got to go back there. That's a big plus. We'll go back there later on in the season, and we might only have 2 more games to play in the plastic pitch. Jeez, either Kilmarnock and Livingston, if the season pans out that the two of them don't make it top 6. So there you go, you've done it already and you've got it out of the way. But that was one of the big positives for me, Southside, at the weekend. Bang, you've done it. We've won, and you move on.
Aye, it was a tricky fixture. We all expected to win, but we know on the plastic surface, and we know the way they're going to set up. And when you gift them a goal, it makes it a bit harder, But like you say, Ox, we've got it out the road. Game's done. We move on, and like you say, we'll play them later on, but then hopefully we're in a bit better form by then. And when we come up and face them again, should be hefty, but. It's just getting a bit of 3 points on Saturday. It was the first game of the season, Ox, and that's all that mattered. 3 points, get them on the board.
Davey, the new players that's come in, obviously, I don't think you've been on a part. This is the first time since we'll come back. What's your initial thoughts on all the new players, mate?
Well, it's difficult to call at the moment till you see them in the league game. You can't. In the friendlies, some of them, the wee guy looks a real speed merchant. But it depends on what they're like during in a league game. But I think what Suicide was spot on with I think he's got in a real good bit of talent there, and time will tell. But it's promising. It's something to look forward to. I think we've got a lot. Obviously, we're going to get the same kind of tight games where teams come and sit in, and that's where we need these. I like to see the 2 wingers on Saturday. Which wasn't really working because the big boy Kolak was screaming for the ball and it wasn't happening. That's because there was nothing coming through the middle. But I think the new guys are definitely going to improve us by a long shot.
Right, improvement. That means more points further in Europe. Going to be an interesting season, Bridgeman.
Well, it's what we want, isn't it? We're wanting, I'm delighted with the result. I said this on Friday, as far as I was concerned, 1-0 victory, 1 goal victory for us. That'll do us 3 points. This is a tough place to go. They've given us a real problems many times in the past, and it's not that long ago, a couple of seasons ago, they beat us. So we should have been under no illusions. And
do you know that was 2018, Bridge?
Right, well, three years ago or so. But I'm just saying, it's not that long ago that they beat us. So it's a long time since Rangers got defeated, but my goodness gracious, they put us under the cosh not a number of times. And they did it again for these points of that game in the first half, and we let ourselves down badly to lose a goal. But there you go. That's the type of goal we use.
I'll cut across you, Bridge. We've been joined by Jim. Evening, Jim.
How you doing, guys? Here we go. Referee watch for this weekend again.
All right, Jim, give us it.
What a wee, by the way, I've got a wee tune here for you. Listening louder to this, guys. Just listen to this wee tune here.
Hey, jingity jing. It's Dominic the donkey. Jingity jing. The Italian Christmas donkey. La la la.
How we doing? Like that wee tune there? I think we had him on Saturday there.
That's the most sense we've had through your calls since you've ever phoned us, Jim.
Aye, I know. That's me just back face of all, by the way, Casey's all been missing me.
All right, how you doing, mate? Good to hear from you, all right?
No, it's good to get back on. Aye, no bad. Aye, doing all right. They're doing all right. Just good to get back on again. Never mind that bit, but that Robertson on Saturday there again. Absolute disgrace.
What's the calls? You talking about the double yellow card?
Aye, the double yellow card is absolute disgrace. And I don't know if any of you've seen the kind of carry on it's been going on for the weekend there or Saturday night where they failed to show the sending offs or the offside. But they then changed the narrative last night. I don't know if any of you've seen it. The view, the line that they drew for where the linesman was standing to prove that the big man was offside. It's actually comical. And I seen them actually going follow that seems that the club have actually collared them about it. And I don't know if that's why they try to kind of change the goalpost last night, as they say.
Mm-hmm. Well, I believe there's been conversations, but let's just leave it at that. Go back to the referee on the game. For me, it was a second yellow card. Apart from that, I think he pretty much got all the bookings right, mate. No, Cholak. I don't think that was a yellow card.
No, I didn't think Cholak was either. But again, the offside goal, it's absolutely shocking. And it's things that, again, I can hear them saying that they're saying that about VAR, they don't want it and all that. There's obviously certain pundits and all that coming out saying they don't want it. There's too much money to be lost in the game now for it not to have it in this country.
Aye, listen, we just want a fair crack at it, fair decisions, yeah? You being a referee.
That's what you're looking for. But again, it's we've potentially lost out in about 40 million this year because of referee decisions. If I'm being honest, I know we part of stupid goals, but we've also been done by a right few bad decisions.
I'm trying to think of any big decision that cost us points last year. Oh, the one at Tannadice.
Tannadice, big team.
Aye, Tannadice was shocking. Aye, but listen, mate, it's up to us to put the ball in it. But
that's it. Aye.
I do agree with you that was a second yellow, and also I agree with you that Cholak's was the yellow card. Souters, Kamaras, Goldson, for me, were all yellow cards, if I'm being honest, yeah?
Aye.
Don't know, what thoughts, Southside?
I think what Jim's saying, like you're saying, Jim, more the linesman I was more peed off it, you know. He should have got that right, you know. And there's been one or two of them that have been dodgy over the past couple of seasons, you know, with some of their decisions when you've seen them back and they've been proved that there's no been an offside or there's been a blatant offside, especially the one against them or Ibrox, if you remember. Two of them were offside running through in their goal at one point. So, it's about us just getting the goals, Jim. Hopefully.
Exactly.
Exactly. I mean, I seen that Rent-A-Gub Grant the other week. I heard him on that Go Radio Man going on about it and all, and he said it's a bit unfair. It's probably the first time I've agreed with him. He said that he's like yourself. He doesn't think it's fair bringing it in halfway through a season.
I just think they done it last year. They changed the fixtures and moved goalposts, and listen, it might work for us. I don't know. I'm not saying that. I just for a professionalism point of view, I can't understand it. Yeah.
100%.
I get it. Jim, change the subject slightly, mate. Always good to hear from you. What's your thoughts on the new players, mate?
John Shooter. I'm feeling a bit sorry for John Shooter now because there's kind of reports kind of family issues going on there with the guy, and probably shouldn't be playing if it's been reported. I'm not saying it's been reported because it's not been reported, but it's rumours what's going on with the guy, and I feel a wee bit sorry for him just now, to be honest with you. But Conor Barisic, to me, has been as culpable as he has been a couple of goals. I thought Barisic at the weekend there was as much to blame for it as Suter was.
Well, Barisic made the first mistake, no challenging for either.
I then backed half.
I agree. Bridgeman, would you say that was fair?
Barisic is 100% guilty on his part. But all he did, instead of going and tucking in maybe behind the centre halves, he actually stood at sort of an inside right channel. That's what he was. And there's the only one person who was going to header that ball, and that's the man that he walked away from. And he walked something like 15, 20 yards away. And it's in no man's land. Once again, no man's land. And when that ball was headed, it was headed in between the two centre halves, and unfortunately, Big Suter made the blunder and couldn't tackle and challenge properly. So the two of them were, and of course, Goldson should have been ready for that. And so was the goalkeeper as well. He's off his line. He's up close to the penalty spot. And you're like, what's he doing? You know, all these things that look really stupid and we look really bad. And hopefully the manager and the coaches will get that sorted out.
The rest of the new players, Jim?
Looks promising just now anyway. Big Kolak, I like the work the guy's doing. I thought the weekend there he could be a wee bit more movement off him towards the goal and kind of backed off a few times when the ball was played in the 6-yard box.
I think you gamble and you move, and if it works for you, it comes in. Sometimes it's doing a lot your movement in it.
That's it. My big thing.
Sometimes you go for a hard and low cross, and the guy puts it, chips it up, and it goes over your head. You know, there's a wee bit of luck involved sometimes. And my initial thoughts are, it looks like a traditional number 9.
He's putting a lot of graft in the boys. I like the way he's kind of shutting the goalkeepers and kind of defenders down. I think we've been missing that for a wee while.
It definitely puts in a shift. Southside, you're enjoying that, aren't you, that aspect?
You want your striker. We don't want him burning stupid energy, Jim, but you can see that he's pretty mobile. He does chase the goalkeepers down. You've seen he blocked one of the pass backs in Saturday when the defender was trying to kick it. He managed to get the block in when the ball broke to us. He works hard, and all you're looking for him is to get a goal return. What I've noticed, Jim, is when he's off the ball, he seems to want to sit right on the edge of the 18-yard box. You know, when the ball goes wide, he's getting himself right into that 18-yard box. And obviously, on Saturday, they were playing a 5 and a 4, you know, and you're not going to get a lot of space to sort of move. So it was basically get the balls across, and the one he scored with it was probably what he was looking for all day, service like that. And the one time we managed to get it, he certainly scored it, but obviously the linesman had him offside. But I think he'll be a success, Jim. I'm looking forward to him. If he can get a run of games, I know Alfie will be back soon, maybe another 3 weeks, maybe, I think, before we really see him back. But he's got a chance now, and hopefully we'll create the chances and he'll nick the goals, mate. And that's what we're looking for. Builds his confidence.
What are the rest of the new players, Jim? Yeah.
Tillman looks good. I think he could maybe open up a few defences. Matonda, he's just a buzz bomb, but hopefully he'll be back tomorrow. And I think the boy this evening, Paul Lawrence, he'll take a wee bit of time to settle, but I think he'll get there as well. Again, it's going to leave us with good tactics, who we're actually going to play in that middle three. That's probably a question we could sit here and argue all night. Who's going to be your midfield? Would you sell Glenn Kamara?
No, if I had a choice, mate. But I think sometimes we just need the shape to be slightly different. I don't think it should be 3. I don't think in that game we need 2 sitters. I think need 1 sitter and 2 forward, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, agree with that.
Right.
Davey.
I think you've seen the difference when Kamara went off the other day there, and they brought the boy Tillman. I think that's what the swap was, wasn't it?
No, it was right for Tillman.
Oh, was it right? Sorry, I do apologise.
And then Kamara, Scotty came on for Kamara.
Aye, that's right.
Davey, in you come, mate.
I agree with you, Oxford. You're spot on about the middle there, definitely. I felt sometimes we were going a wee bit cluttered up in the middle, because I don't think we needed... I think we could have pushed some more up the Colac, and we could have sat with... Because they just weren't there. There was nobody to defend against unless they loved it up the park. So it gives you an extra man, which we didn't sort of utilise, but we still got what we needed, and that's the 3 points.
Aye, but ultimately, Jim, Giovanni got it right, because we won the game.
Right. That's it. That's all we were up there for, was to get the 3 points. It kind of sets us up for the season, hopefully. Hopefully we can hear there more and kind of keep ourselves in a tie.
What's your thoughts on Giovanni? Do you think he's grown into a job?
I thought in the first half of the weekend again, I think out of the games that we've kind of seen at the start of the season again, first 20 minutes, we're kind of struggling in the first 20 minutes again. That's my take on it. Then we kind of settled in.
Aye, okay. Slow starters. You've got to try and... It's a big part of the game, so said, isn't it, to get goals to build confidence.
Aye, Jim, I thought through the smoke at the start when the ball was in the box, I didn't know what was happening. So I thought we started quick. No, we got the ball down the line and we managed to whip it across the goal. But I get what you're saying. I just think it was the first game and I just put it down to just a wee bit rusty still, and you want to just that surface, and you're going to maybe the odd player might make mistakes. They're not going to be playing on fire straight away, so some will take a wee bit longer to get going than others. But I'm just happy we got the result, mate, and it's out the road. And hopefully performances for certain players will be better as we move on, and we've got a few players to look forward to that are going to come into our team. You're
hoping that again. Probably only got Kilmarnock to look forward to going back on to one of the Delft surfaces again, but in it, so I guess that one out of the road.
Quick question for you. I'll come back to you, David. No, come back to you. This is just a yes and a no answer. Would you ban the plastic surfaces for the top flight? Remember, we won the game on Saturday. Yes or no, Bridgeman?
Well, 100% ban them. 100%.
Yes or no?
Yes, ban them.
Outside?
Yes.
Davey?
A big Simon Kill, yes.
Yes or no answer?
Oh,
yes.
Of course, yes.
Well done, Jim. Jim, you're a student of the game and an aficionado. What did they bring? What did they bring to the party?
I don't think they bring into the party, but I think it's bringing money to the clubs with their games. Their community club. I don't think Livingston actually own that park, so it's probably bringing revenue. And I've actually played on it myself when I played with the Rangers fit team. I played a couple of games on it, and I'll tell you, by the way, it's a strange surface. So as in again, I seen it at the weekend there again. They didn't water it again, and it's slowing the game up big time. So as on it, see that if you don't get that batter of rain going on that, then that park was as dry as a bone again at the weekend. They didn't water that park again for a certain reason, which to slow our game down.
David, you were coming in with something, on you go.
Yeah, it was just regarding the sort of situation regarding Livingston. I think we're not giving them the credit for with the way they play, because they're just shockingly defensive, and they were going in there and putting the boot right into all over the place, and that's hard to play against. It's very hard. So that's a big commend to the Gers for eventually getting through them.
I'll tell you what, I've got a bit of respect for the way that guy produces teams. He has to change. I think he lost 14 players or something. Southside, David Martindale, and then he gets another team that, all right, we know they're not pretty, but they're competitive.
The thing about them, Davey, is they're going to play that way against us at home, but when they play St Mirren's and Dundee United, he'll probably have a go. They'll have a go at teams and the way they set up, but when they were playing us, they weren't really going to come out and really attack. And in fairness to us, we dominated possession. We let them in a couple of times. They had a free header after that, but at the end of the day, he sets his teams up well. They seem to produce players. That's another. I think that's about the third or fourth big black striker they've had over the last 3-4 seasons. It's actually done them a turn and looked good. He nicked a goal for them. I think his name is Nubly or something. But he seems to produce certain players and get them to play his system, and they are hard to beat. It's the way they set up, but they certainly have a go, I think, against the rest of the teams in the SPL. AOX, you know.
Aye, I mean, budget-wise and bringing players in and changing and losing players, I've got I don't like that what we watched on Saturday, but I understand it, and they do what's best for them, and he seems to get teams that are competitive, so he must have something about him, Bridgeman, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think we've noticed over the last number of seasons that they're not going to give any ground with it outside their penalty area if they can help it, and that's there. They're just going to defend all the time. But I agree, the points made there when they come up, when they're going to play St Mirren's or any teams like that, Hibs, any of these teams, they'll come out and fight. They'll come out and fight for the ball and do it like a normal game of football. They will open up. They'll go for it. But against us, no, I think most of the teams are going to be similar. They don't want to. Some of them have to because that's the way they train and that's their game plan. They go and do something. But Livingston, they were under that guy anyway. When it comes to the Rangers, I don't think they defend anywhere near as much as that against any other team in the league. And I think it's just against Rangers they shut the shop up. That's what I think. Or park the buses, they say. Is that what they say?
Aye, it's not a great watch, but I understand it. I don't know if ultimately where does it get them, Jim? It got them nothing, didn't it?
I didn't get them in. I thought their big goalkeeper's comments towards Rangers was pretty good. I know we were pretty critical of how bad we thought Rangers were on that, but the big boy was in all Rangers. Couldn't believe the crowd, the noise, and the way they actually the speed of Rangers. I don't know, Jenny, see that in the paper today?
I did. I seen it, mate. I seen it.
Yeah, I did.
All right. Can I just correct a couple of things that's happening at the moment? Obviously, we've got guys part of Rangers Radio who have went off on their own. Obviously, we've got Portberg. He's doing signed autograph pictures for the blind. Yeah. And it's not been very successful for him. But also, we've got another Rangers Radio pundit who's copied Paul Newman, and he's doing a charity sauce, and he's got it up rebranded as South Side's charity sauce. So he's making a few quid as well. South Side. So the boys are trying to make a few quid out there. Right? Okay, get yourself in mute because we're going to have a tune.
give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Okay, everybody back with us. We're going to go straight back and change the show slightly different for Saturday's game. We're going to hear the press conference. We're going to hear from the manager as we build up to a big game for us tomorrow night in a Champions League qualifier. So get yourself a mute. We're going to hear from your manager, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst.
On the injuries, especially for the European squad.
Well, we had training yesterday. Robbie trained with the team. Reefan trained with the team. So, we have to train still another session in a couple of hours. But we still have some players injured out. So, we have to see who's fit. But I think Robbie and Reefan can travel with us this afternoon.
You managed, of course, in the Champions League before. Is there anything from your experience with Feyenoord you can take into this campaign with Rangers?
Well, I played many times in Champions League. Feyenoord I coached in Champions League, so I know the competition is very tough. It's I think one of the strongest, maybe the strongest club competition in the world. So to be involved in that competition would be fantastic for us. And we have 4 games to realize that. And tomorrow's the first game out of 2. So it's a big opportunity for us. So we do our best and try everything to overcome first Union, and then after we see we have to play.
Hi, Gio. The club obviously found a lot of success over 2-legged European ties last season. Just how much confidence and how can those experiences help going into these qualification games?
Well, it's I think what we did really well last season and also the season before that it's two games. So you want to enter the second game with a good opportunity to go through. So I think we've done it really good last year. We had a good preparation because we're playing against a very good side. So I think we have the preparation is normal, and now we have to execute our game plan and to be in the best of our games for 2 times 90 minutes or more.
I want to ask you something about Saturday, if that's okay. In terms of, we saw a situation where Livingston had possibly a clear second yellow card for their fullback Kankar. Instead of that happening, the official called over the captain, which more or less told the bench to make an immediate substitution, which they did. Obviously, the Rangers bench wasn't happy about that. I wondered if you had asked for an explanation, or the club had, in terms of, obviously might see that in a friendly game, but for the first competitive game, I wondered if you had any thoughts on what happened here.
Well, it's obviously, of course, I saw the challenge on Scott, and I thought it was a clear foul, and it also a clear yellow card because Scotty had a good move. He was past him, and then he just tackled him to prevent him to go on, and so I think it was a yellow card. That's why I asked the referee, the assistant referee, why it wasn't a yellow card, and he said, well, that they found it was not a yellow card, but I didn't know. I don't know, because you see, after a couple of minutes, he gets substituted by the bench, by the coach, which is very smart, I think, because I think he knew as well that it was a second yellow and a red card. So that's the only thing you get a player off when his next foul is a red card. So that, I think that's all I know from the game. I don't know what you said about you said the ref said he had to be substituted, or what?
It seemed to me like if you'd spoken to the captain, that's almost a clear message to me, being an official myself, that you're saying to the player, next foul you're off, which more or less tells the bench you should be subbing him off, which I think in a professional game, in a friendly maybe. I just wondered if Rangers would have asked why that would have been allowed to happen in a competitive game like Saturday.
Well, I don't know about that situation. I don't, it's not my, I haven't seen it in the game. So I just, asked for a yellow card and it would have been a send off. That's all I know from that situation. Everything what happened after that, we didn't concentrate on because we had to overcome a 1-0. We were behind 1-0, so all our concentrated was to get all the energy to win the game.
Yes, hello, good morning. I don't know how you see things, but seen from Belgium, Rangers is seen as a favorite of this game, of this round. I don't know, first of all, how you see things, and maybe especially because you may know that last year Union Saint-Gilloise was the underdogs. It was kind of fairy tale. And how do you see this aspect? Maybe it's difficult to play Union when they are underdogs. Thank you.
Well, first of all, it's of course I've seen Union also last year. As you said, fairy tale. I think an amazing year. Promoting from the league, the first league into the main league, and then pushing for the title. It's amazing story, and in the end, Union fell a bit short. And Club Brugge were the champions, but I think it's fantastic for them to even pushing for the title, and which make them now in the Champions League. So yeah, I have a very lot of respect for the players, the coach. Of course, the coach he moved on, but the assistant took over, and you can see a clear style of playing. And I know in Europe, the name Union will not sound really familiar for most people, but if you look the way they play, I think they deserve to be in Champions League contention to go into the group stage. So we preparing well. Of course, Rangers is more known. We just been in Europa League final, but in the end, every team in this round wants to go through and to play in the group stage of Champions League. And, we have to be on the top of our game to overcome this opponent. So we have a lot of respect for them, and we're going to push ourselves and work really hard to win against Union over 2 games.
Gio, you just mentioned the Europa League final there. Given the team reached the Europa League final last season, I wonder if the expectations have become greater to reach the group stage of the Champions League. How well equipped do you think you are to reach the group stages?
Well, as I said, if you reach the Europa League final, you will seen as a favorite to go into the Champions League stages as well. It's a very strong competition already in this round. We see all the teams competing for the last places. The pressure is always there. That's why we are involved in a big club with Rangers. So for me, that's always the case. We have the possibility to have a good month in August in Europe and qualify for group stages. So that's our aim, and that starts tomorrow against Union.
Well, thanks for that, Fox. Redvan and Rabi, do you think there's any chance of seeing them in one night, Southside?
I think we'll probably see Matondo. I'd like to think. See, I heard them saying he trained and did another training session, and obviously with Kent missing the trip, might be a space on the left-hand side possibly for him or Lawrence. I don't even know if Scott Wright's fit. So, I think Matondo's possibly got a part to play tomorrow night, Ox.
Interesting. Big game. Bridgeman. It's a massive game, isn't it?
Well, tomorrow night's game is going to be obviously the biggest game of our season, that's for sure. But it might even be, you look back, it could be as big as the final for me. It's how important it is from a financial perspective. And I don't know the team, the Union team that they're talking about. Obviously, the manager does, so they know a wee bit more about it than I would. I'm quietly confident we'll do it. Get a result over there. Whether it be 1-1 or a draw or a win. I don't see it getting beat.
Maybe the first time in my life, Bridge, I've wanted the Union to get beat.
Aye. That's a good point, actually.
Right. Oh, we've been joined by Robert. Evening, Robert.
Evening, Oxford, Bridgeman, Southside, Jim's still there, and Davey. Good evening, guys. But
Hi,
listen,
Robert.
can I ask a wee question, guys? And I want to put this to Southside. Southside, are you telling me, and you were at the game on Saturday, I was at Livingston game as well, are you telling me if that was Jota putting that ball into that Giacomakis, the flag would have went up as it did against our centre forward? Are you telling me, Southside, if that was Ryan Jack on a yellow card and he makes that tackle that the wee Australian guy did, are you telling me he would never get sent off? No chance. The first game of the season, and guys, I'm telling you right now, this is the way it's going to go the full season. And even when VAR comes in, next year, they'll say after 2 weeks, VAR's a mason. That's what they'll do. Southside, do you tell me the decisions that went against us on Saturday wouldn't go against another team in the East End of Glasgow? Because I'm telling you now, no, it wouldn't. Southside, give me your opinion on these decisions.
You mean your local team, Robert?
No, it's not. Hey, listen, don't dare target me with that same stick. That's not my local team. My team come from Govan, my team come from Ibrox, and my team are a professional football club, and they don't have anything in our closet. Southside, I'm asking you about these two decisions. What is your opinion on those two decisions?
Southside, Mr. Saucy, and you come.
Here, mate, you know they would have got them. You know, I said that if I'd been a Rangers player that had made the two tackles, he'd have been off the park. 100% he'd have been off the park. I don't blame the referee for Kolac's goal. I blame the linesman. You know, he's the one that's culpable. He's watching that line, and for some reason he seems to think that Kolac is offside. But for the angle that I've seen, it doesn't look offside. I've never seen sports. I never watched any of that, so I wouldn't know if they showed whatever. But for what I did see, just in the freeze frame for Sky later on, it didn't look offside, Robert. But I agree with you, Robert. It's like anything. They always cheated, never defeated mob. No, they'll scream and shout for everything. But if we go out and play football this season and hopefully just bang the goals in, then we'll not need to worry about VAR, to be honest, you know. But we need to box clever at times, because one or two of our players will probably be borderline this season, and it's an easy option for the referee to give them a red card, and we know that. But hopefully our football do the talking this year, Robert. We'll not need to worry about that, mate.
Right, but Southside, see, the thing is, it's all right, you're saying if we play football, we'll beat them off the park, and that's fair enough. But Southside, see, the sinister thing about that whole thing is big Cholaks try to land his feet in Scottish football with the Glasgow Rangers, right? And that's a hard part. That's a hard thing to do, because look at Big John Shooter. The badge for the Rangers is a hard badge to carry, right? So see Big Cholak, see that goal stands, that gives him confidence. I don't care what Henders says, that gives that big guy confidence. See when the goal doesn't stand, and people start to say, oh, he's no scored in 4 or 5 games and the pressure's on him, but right it was with Big Hitton. And that's what annoys me, Southside. I can't go that. That big guy got a perfectly good goal, and you know what? That might have put him into the game against Kilmarnock next week, Ross County, and they might have got a hat-trick. And that's what annoys me. The fact that they've put him offside for that goal, and it's never offside. That's a perfectly good goal, and that gave that guy so much confidence getting into the next game, maybe tomorrow night. But no, they have to, oh no, it's a Rangers player, we have to make sure that's offside. I'm sorry, but the corruption's unbelievable. We need to wake up, Rangers. Look at last season, Dundee United away. We should have had 2 or 3 penalties. Even against them at Ibrox, when we lost 2-1. We should have had 2 stonewall penalties. And I know we get decisions going for us, but see every decision Rangers get, we get 10 against us. And I'm sorry, I might be biased, and you can say I'm biased, and I'm my blue tinted specs, but I'm telling you right now, the corruption of Scottish football against my club, and I just want a playing field. I just want it to be plain and be fair. But I'm sorry, that yesterday, 2 decisions, that tells me something. That tells me something that's going to happen the whole season, and we'll just we need to go on with it. No, we don't need to go on with it. We need to stand up. We need to talk like Stephen Gerrard did. And Gio should have come out there and said yesterday, those 2 decisions are disgraceful. That's what he should have said.
If I'm being honest, Robert, listen, I get some of your rant, but we won the game. And if Kovacs' goal would have stood, you don't know if we'd have won the game.
Right, Oxford. So what I'm going to say to you, right, fair enough what you're saying, but see if that Australian guy who gets sent after the first half, I think Rangers would have won that game comfortably 4 or 5-1.
Looks that way, Robert, but they were winning 1-0 at the time, and they could have went even more defensive. We might not have scored any goal. You can never answer that. We won the game. The big decision the referee got wrong was the second yellow card. I'm in Southside camp, and I'll bring Bridgman in, who, you know, Bridgman, he loves a referee. The referee can't be blamed for the goal being chopped off. It's the linesman. And when you do look at it, it is it looks onside to me, but that's known real time in play. It was a hard call, and I would have liked it. Sorry that Jim's not still with us, to get his thoughts on it. Bridgman, in you come.
The referee, as far as the offside decision was concerned, that was definitely the referee's decision. Sorry, the referee's assistant, the linesman. There's not much anybody can do. I think they were supposed to be testing VAR. They should have been able to show us what VAR made of that. Somebody should have been able to show us. No,
they were only testing it to see if the communication worked, mate.
What was that? Oh, it was just the communications. Okay.
To see if they were starting to see.
That's fine. Well, we're never going to know then. But I thought he was level. Just going with my eyes, I thought he was level. If I had been a centre half and I lost that goal, if I had been centre forward and we lost that goal for an offside decision, I'd want to know who the hell was offside. That's what I was saying.
David, would you say that the offside one was a 50-50 call, but the booking was a 90-10 call, wasn't it?
Yes. Can I just go back to Robert's query about the referees?
Yes.
Now, regarding the way they're talking about the yellow cards, we were very lucky that Suter wasn't sent off. When he'd been booked, and the guy got by him, the big guy danced by him, and Suter grabbed his jersey and pulled him back. That was a stonewall booting. So it swings and roundabouts with things. I know we look at it, we're getting the hard end of it, but we could have been doing it 10 men there or no. And going back to the goal, it was a good goal. Stonewall. He was onside when the ball was played. If he was offside, it was after the ball was played. And that's the rules. And if it was, it was his fingertips.
David, that's fair enough what you're saying about Shooter. That's fair enough what you're saying about Shooter. But their players should have been sent off before Shooter made that challenge. That's the point I'm trying to make. Their players should have been sent off well before Shooter made that. And I know we get decisions going through, but I'm telling you, guys, come on. The first game of the season on that plan, and I'll tell you, Oxford, I'm proud of my team. We didn't play well in the first half. We didn't play well at all. But see, in the second half, we battered them, and we could have easily won 4 or 5-1. So I'm not going to criticise my team, but I'm telling you one thing, the first game of the season, and what really helps me is these decisions against us. I know, and Davey's right, yes, Big Shooter was very, very lucky to be on the park, but that shouldn't have happened because they should have had that player sent off before Shooter made that challenge, well before it.
I think the challenge Southside that Davey's talking about is the one when the big centre forward ran through it in the wing, and Golson held him up down where you were near in the second half. Yeah, but he was trying to clutch at his jersey out in the wing. After he'd booked,
Aye.
Listen, Robert, what about the new players? What's your thinking on them?
Malik Tillman's got to be a star. What a player. And if you're at the game, you don't always see it on the TV, and I was at the game, and he's running off the ball, and just, he's sharp. His crisp passing is amazing. His crisp passing. I know he should have scored that goal, the one the goalkeeper's line on the way. He should burst in it, that, let's be honest about it. But that harms. I've seen better players than him do that. Tillman, love him to bits. Tom Lawrence, who I predicted was going to be our probably player of the season, he needs to do a wee bit more. First half, him and Kovac were non-existent. He needs to do a big bit more than what he's doing, because in the first half, him and Kovac, you need one to come deep and get the ball and want to run in behind, and we didn't get that in the first half. We did not get that in the first half. So Tom Lawrence needs to do a bit more. Kolak, Dury's still out. Hopefully he'll do well. But I'm telling you now, Oxford, I'm excited about the wee boy Yilmaz that's coming in the left back. I'm excited about him. And the wee boy in the wing, Matondo, I think he's going to be brilliant. And I'll give a big shout out here. I know he caused us a goal. He was the main part for the goal yesterday, Saturday, Big John Shooter. But you know what? That boy played on when he had a family and whatever happened, family bereavement, and he came out. And I think, give him time. Come on. I know he played for Hearts, right? But you're playing for Rangers now. So give Big John Shooter a chance. And I don't like all the criticism that's been put up towards John Shooter, because I like to give him a chance. Look at Big John. Look at
Andy Goram's Rangers career.
I know, and exactly, and these things happen.
Yeah, cheers, Robert. We've also been joined by Bob J. Evening, Bob J.
Hi, evening, everyone. How you doing?
Good, mate. What's on your mind, mate?
Aye, Robert, I totally understand where you're coming from, mate, but I don't think these officials bother about Rangers' confidence level. I think your confidence level will come with your good play and the way we perform in the games and the oncoming season, mate. Yeah. You're enough. Obviously, you're a dyed-in-the-wool Rangers man, and I admire your sentiments, Robert, but let's forget about officials and VAR and just go on, because it's all part and parcel of the game, mate. And I do agree with you that Kolak was on side, 100%, mate. Anyway, the postscript on Saturday, up against a big physical team, an awkward fixture, but we overcame it. Weren't great in the first half, but came out. The amount of possession we had in the second half bordered on being embarrassing. But, the Gers did it. So let's get on with this league programme. Well, let's go on with this tomorrow night, obviously. And let's go on with the rest of the league programme. We'll see how it pans out. And as I said in my last call, I'm cautiously optimistic we'll be successful this year.
Cautiously optimistic, I like that. Right, Southside, going to put you in a spot, mate.
Not an unusual error.
Right, okay. Well, I'm not going to ask you how much you're charging for the Southside sauce. I'll be looking for some complimentary, but what's your team tomorrow night?
This early?
Aye. What do you mean this early? It's Bridgeman's bedtime.
I know. Hey, Morris team. All right, I'll go for McGregor.
Before you go any further, do you want me to read out a text for Saturday?
What one? Was it for me or was it for somebody else?
Somebody else.
Oh, no, don't bother.
No, carry on.
I'll have added add-ons in it and that. No. I'll go for McGregor. Tav, Golson. I'm going Borna. I'll leave this the other one now. I'm going to put Ryan Jack, John Lundstrom, Glenn Kamara. Matondo, Lawrence, and Kolach.
Right, so you're assuming that Scott Wright and obviously and
Ken
Ryan are not playing now.
I'm assuming that Wright's probably injured.
Right, so your other centre half, are you going with Suter or are you going with Sands?
I don't know much of the background that you've all been talking about. I hadn't heard anything.
Let's just say that. Let's put it this way: if they're a physical team with a big centre forward, you would go with Suter. If they're a pacier team, would you not go with Sands?
Yeah, I would. I don't know a lot about them. I know they've purchased a striker that seemingly scored 25 goals in 33 games where he played before. So I don't know much about them, Ox, but I'd probably think we'll probably go, if in the right frame of mind, I think you'll go with John Suter, to be honest.
Right, okay. All right, okay. James Sands, could he be, if I know we've got an option to buy, but could he be the next, bizarre as it sounds, could he be the next Calvin Bassey? It's a slow burner and then just takes off. I know it was only a cameo, came on for the last half an hour or so on Saturday, but he strode it. Bridgeman.
Well, we spoke about James Sand the other night there, and I don't think anybody said they didn't like him. We can see him quietly making his way in to the team when he gets his chance, and he's quite quick, very quick over the ground, which is a real bonus. And he's not a bad passer. He's not fancy. He doesn't stand out. In fact,
neat and tidy, Bridge.
Exactly. Yeah, he's a really good player. And remember the last guy we had in, not the last American, one of the last Americans we had at the right back. What was his name again? Fantastic player for us.
Claudio Reyna.
Quiet, unassuming guy, but could play a bit of football. So I don't know. I think Sands gets himself caught in he tries to tackle. He pushes at the same time, and he nearly always gives a foul away. Need to watch out for that. Other than that, smashing player. Quiet, unassuming guy.
Ox.
Yes, Robert.
I'm glad you mentioned James Sands because that was my whole point in the night when I come on Rangers Radio. I watched him on Saturday. You know what? I watched him winning balls in the air. I watched him making 40-yard passes. And I think, see James Sands, I think he's a dead balanced player. He can play right foot or left foot. And you know what? I'm going to make a bold prediction here tonight on Rangers Radio. I think James Sands is a dark horse to watch out for this season. Because what I've seen him in pre-season and what I've seen him his wee cameo role for 20-25 minutes yesterday, I think he's good. And I'll tell you right now, and Gio's done it with Bassey, he's done it with other players, Morelos, when Gio came in, and I think this might be the player that Gio's going to do it with. I like what I see with James Sands, and I don't think the guy's the fair whip at the crack. He's no had 6 or 7 games in a row. He's came on with cameo roles, and you can't think me a player. You can't judge a player when he's coming on for 20 minutes here and 15 minutes there. And see if James Sands gets a run in the Rangers team, and I actually think he'll play tomorrow night because Shooter's no there. I think it'll be Golson and Sands tomorrow night, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he does.
Shooter hasn't travelled. I've been told that. My phone's picked up.
Right.
I've been told that. But I wonder if Ben Davis has travelled. Ben Davis. Ben Davis.
Yes, he has also. He has.
I just wonder. But look, mate, I'm not saying he's the next Calvin Bassey. I'm just saying Bob Gier, could he be a slow burner and he just takes off and he shocks and surprises you?
Well, possibly, because the boy's he's an international cap player, isn't he? He knows what it's about. Cap to the USA, who are a decent side. And any time I've seen him, he's been very consistent. The boy had an outstanding game at Tynecastle last year at the back end of the season. And so, he wouldn't let you down. I agree with you, Robert. He wouldn't let you down. Not a bad player, the boy. And if he can pass the ball with both feet, that's a great asset. So,
I don't want
what's up with Suter? Is he injured?
No, he's dealing with personal stuff, mate. Yeah.
All right.
All right. I don't want to mention Sands of Time to you, Davey, because I don't think it would be fair, mate.
Yes, I would definitely go with Suicide's team. When we're talking about Suter, obviously, due to the predicament the guy's having, he wouldn't make it. But I would have played, if there was a choice, then I'm not going by the way he played on Saturday. I'm going by what would be better for the team. I think Sands with Colston with a better pairing for that match. I'd go with that team, Suicide. I think that'll be a good team.
All right. Interesting. Who you going for, Southside? Sands or Ben Davis?
I think Sands will play.
All right, mate. All right. No chance Alfie starting for you?
No, I don't see it. I think Ben Davis might come in maybe against St Johnstone in the league game at Ibrox, but I don't think he'll take part. I don't think he'll start. Just my opinion, mate.
Aye, I know. Aye. All right. Right. Robert, Europe has become really important to us in the last 4 years. We've been consistent, really, haven't we? Arguably one of the most consistent spells in our history in Europe, eh?
Absolutely fantastic. And see people, I hear Rangers fans going, oh no, the League Cup, the Scottish Cup's more important. No, listen, us getting a run to Europa League final, that's where Rangers should be. We should be amongst the top. And you know what? I'll take that every year. Oxford, see if you ask me, would you rather win the Europa League or the SPFL? I'll take the Europa League every day of the week because that's where we belong. And what a performance that was with our team. What a performance getting to that final and only losing with a penalty kick. That was what a team. And I'm looking forward to it. Don't get me wrong, I'm a wee bit nervous about tomorrow night because Ryan Kent's no there tomorrow night, Oaks, and I'm a wee bit worried because we don't know much about this Belgium team. Do you know what I mean? We don't have big cowboys who drives us forward. But do you know what? We'll move on to that. We will move on to that. And I hope the Rangers go there tomorrow night and do what they've done for the last 4 years under Steven Gerrard, under Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. He came in and he took us to a final in 5 months and he didn't get the credit he deserved. You know what? Do it tomorrow night and the Rangers players, and I really, really hope, Oaks, we can do it because we want to bring them back to Ibrox and they'll know what an atmosphere is all about. And you know what? We deserve to win that Champions League, what we've done the last 4 years. But it's all about all deserving.
Take a breath, mate. Take a breath.
Nah, I'm sorry, I'm going on.
No, I'm going to mention that final because I've still having to put after sun on my heat for waiting for you at that corner. And
I was waiting to meet you, but you never turned up to buy me a drink.
Anyway, we'll be joined by Alex for wish you evening, Alex.
Good evening, Alex there, Bridgeman.
Good to get somebody with a bit of sense.
No, Alex.
Southside. Bob, Gier, Davey, Robert, and anybody else. How are we doing, lads? All right?
Good to hear from you, Alex. What's on your mind?
I'm happy we get the result Saturday there. That's the most important thing, Alex there. Get away there with the 3 points. We knew it was going to be a difficult game, difficult venue. The big guy up front for them was definitely, he was a handful, wasn't he? He was an awkward big player.
Awkward.
And he gave the 3 defenders quite a bad sign in that. But overall, that's one. That's the box tick. And look forward now to tomorrow night. That's the most important thing.
Aye. And Alex, what's your initial view on the new players that's come in, mate?
I've seen them again, West Ham, Tottenham. I says when he caught him, quite pleased with the additions were made and that, you know. So the Tillman boy, he looks quite a good player. And I think Lawrence will come on to a good game. And Big Kolak's definitely. If he gets the service, the big guy will definitely put the ball in the net. And the wee winger that they've got for the Welsh boy, he looks tricky as well. I like my wingers to get to the byline and be able to feed the big centre forward. I'm optimistic this year. I think we've got a right good squad. The bit I'm talking about, James Sands there, I think he will play tomorrow night because I believe you need to tackle, and I believe that Big Bonner is not the best. Let's be quite truthful. He's been caught out 2 or 3 times. And he lets, what do you call it, the winger run on. He keeps going further and further back. And I think we're going to have to get somebody in there to cover up. And if Ben Davis was fit, he'd be automatically get in there because that's what that guy's signed for. We've not paid, what do you call it, £4 million for him and £6 million for the wee Turkish boy. They tour definitely. You'll see them within about the next couple of weeks, I'd imagine.
Do you see them as starters as things develop, Alex?
Without a doubt. The 2 guys will get in there. Big John Suter.
I see what you done there. The Turkish guy, the 2 guys. I like that, Robin. That was very, Alex, that was very witty. I'm an unconscious comedian. Huh? What do you call it? John Suter, I felt so sorry for the guy. He was up against it there. He's playing out of position. Let's not be kidded here. He plays on the right side. In fact, I honestly thought maybe they put him over on the right-hand side and put Big Golston at the left-hand side. Because if you look back, when the big centre forward went through and he left Suter for dead, Golston went over to cover at the post at the left-hand side and the big boy never got any joy. Okay, albeit he hit the ball back and the boy hit the ball at the crossbar. But he'd done the covering. So if that was a problem, I think Suter would probably get in the right-hand side. I know it means moving the defence round about and that, but he was definitely caught out on the left-hand side, John Suter. And John Suter's no bad player. Let's be quite truthful here. And the fans need to give him a bit of leeway, the guy. And I think he'll come good enough because we're going to need a big squad here. Everybody will need to be the log at game time here. And last year, tomorrow night will be a hard game as well over there. But I'm almost sure we'll get the result and take it back to Ibrox. Yeah, listen, I agree with you 100% about John Suter not playing his natural side of the park. And I understand he's got some issues off the park. We wish him all the best to him and if it is true what we're picking up with him and his family, and I hope they can bounce back for it. All I'm saying is he get caught the wrong side on and the wrong side of the ball, and that doesn't matter if you're playing on the right or the left, mate. You should still be on the right side of the forward of your centre half, mate. Yeah, he made an error.
So you're absolutely right, but to be quite truthful, see that the big guy that played against Oxford, he had the 3, had Golston as well, you know. The defence, they couldn't cope with him, to be quite truthful. And that's how they play up there, Livingston. You know, everybody knew exactly their tactics before they got there. It's the same. Rangers huffed and puffed the first half, couldn't break through. Second half, couple of substitutions, and that's what it takes up there. But you've got to give Livingston a bit of credit. That's what they do. They play to their strengths, and that's it. And also a bit of credit to Livingston as well, because as you said earlier, the common sense prevails, man. Get the ticket allocation out, and there's nothing better than you see a stadium full, and other teams could take a better page out of the book.
Oh, aye, without a doubt, that the games keep Livingston afloat. South side,
Aye, Alex, we touched on that earlier. Livingston have always been generous with their tickets because obviously they're looking to fill their stadium, you know. And like you say, they play to their strengths, Alex. They didn't water the park. They sit tight in against us. Against other teams, they'll come out and they'll play. Martindale will have a go at other teams, but on that day, they managed to catch us out as well with nicking the goal. I think Suter will play well in time. I agree, Alex. I just think on the left, like most players that are predominantly played on the right, James Sands probably plays predominantly on the right if he's playing in defence for America. And Katic was the same when we signed him. He played left and all. Golston did play left once, Alex. I think if you remember, we switched it about and he didn't look too clever. I think it was against Motherwell at Ibrox. I'm not sure, but
was it? We went with 3-5-2 and he played on the right. Motherwell, I think they equalised the last kick of the ball. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They lost a couple of quick goals. Gerard's first season, mate.
Aye, but Golson's always played on the right-hand side, Alex, and I don't think that will ever change. I think if we go to a three in time, at times I think Suter will be on the right, and I think Kingsley. But Sands has been unlucky for me and Alex. We've not seen where he can really play, and I think he's probably very a midfielder, but we're overloaded in there with midfielders, so it's unlucky that he's just taking a chance wherever he's getting at the moment, you know what I mean?
Can I come in on that a wee bit?
On you.
Just right, okay, Pat, thanks. I was just going to say that on Shooter, I agree with Alex. He's going to get a lot of sympathy if he can get himself sorted out, but he's definitely not going to be his strength on the left-hand side here with the two centre-backs. He's not going to be there. All the good games he had for Scotland and the good games he's had for Hearts have all been done on the right-hand side for the twin centre-half. So, in fact, he played with a 3-5-2. So he plays very strong on the right-hand side. And that's his better position, or most favoured position. Whether he'll be able to convert him to a left-sided, I don't know. Really don't know. Sympathy for him.
Yeah. I think we all have. I think we recognise that. But I think as time develops, you know, if you're getting the jersey and you're getting in there to play, that sympathy wanes. But listen, his Rangers career's not even started yet, if we're being honest. You know, I don't even think he's 100% fit, because he missed a bit of pre-season as well. So, look, and he's newly married as well, Alex, so he'll be using a lot of energy. You remember what that was like, you know?
Who's another thing I was going to say? What was I going to say there, Oxia? See the James Sands thing, right? When his loan spells up, would you pay the £4.5 million for him?
At the moment, if I'm being honest, no, personally, I'll take that round the panel. Davey, yes or no?
No.
Robert?
At the moment, no, but I think it could be worth it in the long term.
Yes or
no? No.
Southside?
No.
At the moment.
Aye, but...
yes or no?
I said no, didn't I?
Maybe he's aye, maybe he's not. Bridgeman?
No.
Right, Southside, what's your thinking?
I think because of the age and he's getting a game, he's got a bit about him, James Sands. We've just not seen him in a settled position. I think ideally he can sit and play in a two in the midfield. No, you could play Lundstrom and Sands and together as a midfield too. I think he's got a variety of passing, he's got a dig about him, he's got a bit of pace. We've just not really seen him get a chance in there because you're probably finding that Jack's going in there or Kamara's going in there. So he's not getting that chance. So the chance he's getting is at centre-back now. But that's going to change as well soon, because if Davis comes in fit, even if we're playing a back four, Davis will play on the left-hand side. So then he's left again. Where does he get a game in the team?
Is he one of these players, mate, that his versatility is 100 still?
A lot of managers say they like to put players in a couple of positions. He seems to be able to play three in it, right back, sort of centre back, and he's supposed to be able to play midfield. So, it's hindering him now because he can't get a settled spot in the team. But he's not done anything really wrong when he's been in the team, Ox, and he's done well. He's he's two-footed as well. He uses his left foot quite a lot, passing the ball. He just doesn't seem to be able to hold down a position, and I think in a two in midfield it's hard for him. So I think he's going to become that bit part player again, where he'll come on at times like that. But I don't see him getting a settled position, to be honest, once Davis is fit. Davies.
All right. Alec, what's your thinking, mate?
That was the debate we had Saturday night, funny enough. At the moment, I wouldn't pay the £4.5 million. I think there are better guys out there you could get for that type of money. I hope I'm wrong here, by the way. I hope the guy proves me wrong. But at the moment, I agree with Southside there. He's flexibility. No less Kamara, one of these guys go. But I don't think he'll get much time. to be quite when that Ben Davis comes back, because that's a three at the back they'll play. Definitely, we'll go three at the backs. I think we'll go with Suter, Goldston, and Ben Davis.
I can't see it, mate. I can't see it because of Ridvan and where do you play Ridvan and Tavernier then?
Well, they'll go. They'll be your wing.
And where's Ryan Kent going? Where's Matonda gone?
Oh, that's the selections you've got then, isn't it? That's the selections go. I think they go straight at the back.
No, I can't see it, mate. I can't see Gio. I think that he might date in the odd game to get more players up the park in theory, but Tavernier and Redman on this, but you're taking Matonda and Kent out your team. What's your thinking, Robert?
My thinking is, and I'm talking about James Sands here, I think that boy will get in our team because he's two-footed, he's balanced, and that's what Gil likes. That's what Gil likes in players. And I'll tell you now, guys, I think that boy James Sands might find a place in our team. That's maybe controversial because what we've seen so far, and we've not been happy with what we've seen. We've not been over-hammered. But I'll tell you now, I've got a feeling this boy's going to get results. Like Big Bat, a year ago we were all saying Bassey was worth £500,000. We sold him for 20 million. And let's be honest about it. This time last year, if you'd asked me all year how much was Calvin Bassey worth, I'd have said to you, what, 500,000, £1 million. So I'm not saying James Sands is going to be like Calvin Bassey. But I'm telling you, give that guy a chance in our Rangers team. The way he plays, he's two-footed. That's what I want to see in a Rangers player.
The hard thing is getting in our team. Bob's here, isn't it? Lundstrom,
Absolutely.
Kamara, Jack, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got a big squad of players now. As Alex said there 10 minutes ago, everybody's going to be needed. And, big squad of players. On the point of James Sands, let's face it, boy, James Sands, decent player, as I said, international cap, but he is a squad player. He is a squad player, and the circumstances of tomorrow night might prevail that the boy he just might have to play. Simple as that, and I wish him all the best if he does, but as to pay £4.5 million for him at the end of the day, I don't think so. No for a squad player. No,
I get it, but as Fox pointed out earlier on, could have been a slow burner with a squad player last year, Southside left back, centre half cover.
Well, if Ryan Jack doesn't stay fit and you're not going to use Glenn Kamara in that role, I think in Gio's head, Sands is ahead of Stephen Davis. Or a Scotty Arfield doesn't usually play as deep, he normally plays one up. So I think he's got a chance of breaking into the team. But I think Ryan Jack fit probably is ahead of him at the moment and Glenn Kamara, but should one happen to one of them and he can get a chance, I think he is. And then if you look at the value, if he could make a breakthrough, go to the World Cup, have a good World Cup, you're only talking about £4.5 million they're asking for. And if Gio thinks that he's part of his plans going forward and does a job this season, then it might be a snippet, £4.5 million in the long term.
It could be, but the question we asked, mate, was you pay it now? But in 6 months' time, your view might have changed, yeah?
Aye, he might not make the World Cup squad and he might still be a player that will just come on now and again and not make that breakthrough, and then we will only buy him. But I'd like to think he's got something to offer, and I think Gio trusts him. I think he brought him on in the final. He's played them in games, he's brought them on. So I think
it's going to be a good trivia question in years to come, innit? Name all the players on the park. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Aye.
He'll be the one.
I reckon you'll get him for about £1 million.
It's a release clause, Bridge. The deal's done.
Oh, is the deal already done? If we're going to buy him, we're going to buy him for that money.
Aye.
We'll buy him then. We'll buy him. But they'll be lucky to move the boy. They'll be lucky to move him.
I'll just go back with his,
No, but I'm saying that the team that he's with, they'll be lucky to move him. Because he's not worth £4.5 million, that's for sure.
Not at the moment. But Robert, Robert makes a point. I wish I could make it as eloquent as Robert, but Calvin Bassey was only worth maybe, I don't know, tops £2 million this time last year. Alex?
Well, that's the fact, isn't it? Plus the fact he was an international player, but Bassey just went to another level. He went in there at centre half at the beginning. Everybody knew he had problems with his heading ability, but you've got to get to Big Bassey, man. He didn't have come on. And he was a player. I'm not saying James Sands is a bad player. I'm just having a look around about in the squad and what the problem, what they're going to do if they're going to be paying that sort of money. And I'm trying to me, £4.5 million, it's a bit of money I think, for him, to be quite truthful. I wish the boy all the best, puts the jersey on and hope he does the business for us and that, but I think it's a lot of money for James Sands.
Aye, at this moment in time, but maybe at the end of the season it could go the other way. We're saying what a snip that could be. You know, you never know in football, do you? You never know.
You never know. You just see what you got. You just see what the Big Joe Rebo's goal there. You seen it? The other night everybody's talking about him in the South of England. We were witnessing that up against Braga. He took the full VL defence on, beat about 6 men and scored. So there you go. They've won a prize down there. They've got it for £10 million, which is good money for us for his last year. And then you go, Big Calvin Bassey goes out of age, actually gets sent off, comes on as a substitute. So football goes round. It goes round. We're going to need the big squad. That's without any doubt. The games we're going to be playing in and that. So we'll wait and see.
Well, gentlemen, you'll not believe it. We've reached the first Monday night show after the start of the season. We've reached that time of the evening. It's flew by, Southside, didn't it?
Hasn't half, Ox. Aye, it's been really good tonight and good to hear a lot of people phoning in and good topic and good banter, mate.
All right, I've got quite a few orders for your sauce, mate, especially if you send the bottle, mate.
I've already had a text for him, man. He's torture.
All right. Okay, that was a quick shout out. Robert, quick.
Once again, when the odds are against us, our captain James Henry Tabrier steps up and gets the winner. How many times does that boy have to do to let us Rangers fans know he is a legend? James Henry Tabrier. Thanks, Oxford.
Cheers, mate. Speak to you soon. Bob Chair.
Aye, a great show again. It's good to be back. What a boring summer I've had sitting here with shingles. What a shame for me. And to hear you all your dulcet tones, as I say, talking about all things Rangers, is great. Brilliant show tonight, lads. And I'll see you later on in the week. I'll hear you later on in the week.
Cheers, mate. Davey?
Yeah, pleasure as always. Great to hear you again. I'd just like to say, Suicide, I wonder if your sauce goes with Maltesers, so I'm a big give it a go.
It's Burberry chicken and that, mate. Burberry chicken and that. It's not a pudding sauce, mate. It's more a sort of barbecue flavour, sort of Paul Newman style, you know.
Anyway, it's been a pleasure.
Cheers, Davey. Alex?
Pleasure, by the way, to be back on again. Excellent show again, and good luck, Rangers, tomorrow night.
Here, mate. Here. Oh, what's the kick-off time tomorrow night? 7:15?
I think it's 7:15.
Well, just check. Better check that out. Somebody tell me the kick-off time quickly. I've not even looked.
It's 9:15 out there, I was sure, so it's 8:45.
All right, sorry.
I think it's 9:15 out there, Alex.
All right, 7:45 kick-off, so we'll be back at 7:45 tomorrow night. The pre-match show. Over to you, Bridge, man. Southside first, then the Bridge.
Aye, mate, thoroughly enjoyed the show tonight. Good to be back on with the legend, the Bridge man, and your good self. So, thanks for inviting us back on, pal.
Cheers, mate. Bridge man.
What can I say? That's I want to echo Big Southside there. Thank you very much, Ox. Had a really good night. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Great to be with the South Side there. He's keeping us in line. Well done. And I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here, on Rangers Radio, massive, massive, massive game tomorrow night. So we're looking for something from the team to come, at least bring something back for us to get our teeth into at Ibrox. Just go out and do it, Rangers, because everybody needs it. So everybody keep it going for the Rangers, because Rangers really, really need us. Tomorrow night, keep it going. 1-0 for the Rangers.
All right, mate. Can I thank Old Davey? Jim the ref, always good to hear from Jim, does make us laugh. Bob Jar, Alex, and of course the one and only Robert Werrell, the legend that is Bridgeman, and Mr. Entrepreneur himself, Mr. Southside, for joining us here on the show. Thanks to Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night at 7:15 with a pre-match show building up to a Rangers victory once again in Europe. Take it away, Old School Blue.
The greatest team of all. We support the Glasgow Rangers, doing it Ibrox is the place, and we will follow in the championship race. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. It's true, the magic boys in blue are the best team in the land. You've got to queue and govern to get a ticket for the stand. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. We've spent a lot of money on great players, yes, that's true. But the Rangers fans deserve the best from the boys in royal blue. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Ago, the story, it was dismal, full of gloom. Now we're building an extension for the Ibrox trophy room. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. In Europe, we'll be travelling by land and sea and plane. The teddy bears have got the bears and we're on the march again. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true.